Hi there, this is Lydia Kopika and this is today's Health Bite. Should you diet? Well, that's going to be today's question. So just for the sake of a little survey here, if you think you should be dieting or on a diet, please type yes in the comments below. So what exactly is a Health Bite? So I just do these little shows, and a bite, B-Y-T-E, there's small units of information and transferred digitally. And that's what I'm, just trying to give back to you. Things that I've read about or that I've learned about, and give it back to you and explain it in a way that makes it kind of mainstream. So should you diet? Who here is on a diet, and why would you be on a diet? A few years back, well, many years back, when I worked in hospitals, doctors used to recommend diets for people, whether it was maybe 1,000-calorie diet, 1,200-calorie diets, low cholesterol diets, diabetes diets, low salt diets, salt restrictions. But nowadays, we really believe that maybe one way of eating will help all those conditions. So now I want you to type no in that in the comments, because really we all don't need to be on that kind of a restrictive diet. What you probably need is just a new way of eating. So the thing is, our bodies crave what we feed it, and the food industry spends billions of dollars to get you to crave more food. So what are our cravings really? Some people try to diet or cut back on things, and they have cravings, then they overeat, and they feel like maybe they failed. But actually, it's not your fault. Things are done to the food so that you'll eat more food. And one of the things is putting high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup solids in every processed food out there. Look at if you can pull out a loaf of bread out of your refrigerator, it's very difficult to find a loaf of bread on the market that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. This is something that I've collected, and I hope I don't get in trouble for putting this on the air. So this is a big gulp, and some people stop and get one of these every day. Now, I mean, not saying that diet is better for you, but if you were to have a big gulp and it's just a regular Coke or something with sugar in it, this is how much sugar you would get in one big gulp. I don't know if you can see that. But that's 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And some people do that every day. And that's close to 600 calories a day that they're getting in. So sometimes just looking at what we're doing every day and maybe eliminating these things can make big changes in our health. Now, there's something called metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndrome is when you start having a cluster of conditions, maybe high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels, or high cholesterol. And this is what, a lot of times doctors put us on a prescription for one of those things. Let's say you have high blood pressure and you go on a prescription for that. If you don't start changing your way of life and what you're eating, even though you're taking a prescription, that doesn't take care of what's causing that problem. Then you're going to eventually have more additional problems. Before you know it, you're going to be on 3 types of medications. So when you address one problem, you can actually address all of them. And according to the Mayo Clinic, I just looked this up today, aggressive lifestyle changes can delay or prevent serious conditions and those health problems from developing further. So those conditions all are treatable and reversible. So what we really need to do is retrain our cravings and our fat cells. And by doing that is basically by maybe decreasing our blood sugars, and what we're eating will do that. By controlling our insulin levels, that's really what causes our cravings. So losing weight isn't just about self-control. One of the main ways to do that is by cutting processed foods. So the cleaner you eat, the less the food industry actually impacts your diet and your cravings. And eventually your body will start to balance out and you won't be craving the bad foods. Your body craves what you feed it. So maybe by increasing fruits and vegetables, your body will eventually start craving more fruits and vegetables. by decreasing the processed foods, you'll stop craving processed foods. Now, some of us have had these same dietary habits for a lifestyle for our entire lifetime, and it can take a while for that to balance out, but I do believe that by making changes, you can start seeing changes and feeling changes immediately. But eventually, you'll have brownies in your house. Maybe somebody will make brownies. You'll walk by those and you won't even want one. They won't even maybe be attractive to you. Now, there's a lot of weight loss companies out there. I'm not going to mention any names, but maybe let's say you go for weight loss counseling and, they're selling you food, but they're basically processed food, but come in little tiny packages. And what that is it's just a smaller portion of a larger problem. It's just a smaller portion of bad food. So they still have, high fructose corn syrup in them. A lot of the diet systems out there have shakes where if you look at the ingredients, there's corn syrup solids in it. Well, that's not going to do anything to change the way you eat or the way you crave food. So it's actually by cleaning up your diet and what you're eating that's going to eventually change those cravings. So how do we clean up our diet? Well, a good way to start is by cutting back things that cause a lot of cravings in your brain. Maybe cut dairy for a while. Let's say just to jumpstart, you're going to cut dairy, you're going to cut gluten, and you're going to cut out anything that has sugar in it. Anything that has a label where maybe there is sugar or corn syrup solids. So if you have any questions or got any value from today's talk, please be sure and like my video. Feel free to share it. Or immediately following this video, feel free to private message me if you would like more help with your diet or your way of eating. This is Lydia Kopeka with today's Health Bite. Thanks.